Whatcha Mean, What's a Zine? The Art of Making Zines and Mini Comics by Mark Todd and Esther Watson, two of my favorite artists who make lots of zines and have been making zines for decades, and they're incredible. And this book is incredible, and I wanted to share it with you. It's what got me started making my own zines, and I read it 20 years ago when it first came out in 2006. I just graduated, and now I was working at a design firm in Miami, and I used to commute with my dad. And I remember reading this book in the car. It just kind of blew my mind because I was into that world. I was into this world of like DIY, self-publishing, and just very interested in it. And I wanted to know more about it. And this book taught me everything that I needed to know about zines moving forward. It's basically like the Bible of zine making. And it still holds up today. It's still as relevant as it was when it came out 20 years ago. There's so much information in here, from how to make a zine, different ways of printing zines. There's essays about zines in here. There's a spread in this book called What's the Big Idea? And it's a bunch of different prompts for what your zine could be about. Detour, my parents' vinyl collection, yearbook, mini manifesto, bad poetry, school notes, book of rules, pet diary. These are all potential ideas to kind of get you going if you don't know what you want to make yet. You got information about zine formats, the standard half-page zine, the no-staple zine, the quarter-page mini, the micro mini, the accordion, stack and wrap, the freebie, and the fold and bind. There's information in here about how things reproduce when you copy them. So like, what does like a pencil texture look like when it's photocopied? What does a certain color look like when it's translated to black and white? One of the things I love about this book is every page is just packed with not only information, but beautiful visuals. Every single page is its own handmade artifact. Looks like it was photocopied. The type looks like it was set on a typewriter and then cut out into strips of paper and then glued onto the page. And every page has its own unique layout. Some pages are handwritten, some pages are cut and paste, some pages are comics that were created by other artists. I also love this book because the whole book inside is just a 2-color print, which I love. I love a limited color palette. Who doesn't love a limited color palette? There's also an author's note in the beginning of this book, which I think encapsulates the idea behind this book and why it was made. We wanted to make a book that we would have loved to have found when we first started our mini comics. The great thing about zines is the freedom to be able to express your thoughts any way you like. The more raw and honest, the better. It's a world where the weird, absurd, and unique is appreciated. So from this book, I just became a fan of these two amazing artists and started collecting their work, started finding their zines. Anytime I saw a new zine come out, I'd try to get it. Here are some of Mark Todd's zines. I think the first book that I got from Mark Todd was this book here, which I can't say the title of, but it started as a zine. It started as this idea to draw these characters from his youth and also write about, the memories he associates with those characters. And from there, he expanded it even further and turned it into a published book. I think one of the things that I really respond to with both of their work is this feeling, this textured, handmade quality to it. There's an immediacy to it. There's a freedom, a looseness. It can get messy. It could get weird. It adds to this feeling of authenticity that you just find with all of their work. There's also this feeling that nothing is precious. You just keep making these booklets, keep making this work, keep making these paintings, just keep making the art, and your voice, your ideas, your creativity will just start to shine through everything you make. Besides Whatcha Mean, What's a Zine, just looking through their actual zines really helped demystify the process. It made it feel very approachable, very accessible for me to make my own. I think the trash zine just perfectly encapsulates that. It's really just a bunch of random stuff from around their studio stapled together. Look at this. This is an original ink drawing in here. It's not trash. This is pure treasure. This is tough stuff. This little zine is about tough stuff like bones and rocks and skulls, and the devil and bugs and mullets and ninja stars and aliens. And I have around here, I gotta find it, but I have the zines of Unlovable. That one started as a found diary. Esther Watson found this diary in a gas station on a trip from Vegas to San Francisco. And that diary just became the source material for this ongoing narrative, zine, comic. And then it turned into a published book. See? Unlovable. Starts as a mini comic, a zine, handmade, paper, staples. And now finished book. You know, besides making me want to draw immediately when I look through these zines, it also just starts the wheels turning in my mind of all the different ideas that I have. At the same time, I don't feel all this pressure. It could be a pretty immediate thing that's not polished, that doesn't have all that perfectionism associated with it. And I think now more than ever, this imperfection or this feeling of just like authentic, handmade artwork is really going to be needed when everything can just be generated by a computer. There's just something special about knowing a person made this, and it's really hard to replicate that feeling. In an age of everything being slick and polished, you know, showing this immediacy, this rawness to your drawings, to your art, is going to show people who you really are as an artist. It's going to make people just really value the unique kind of fingerprint of your work. I know that Mark Todd and Esther Pearl Watson come from this commercial illustration background, and I think that zines helped keep them with one foot in this more personal world. Sometimes that's a struggle that I have, where a little bit too long in the commercial art world and working with clients, you start to feel like a little bit of distance between your personal work, the things that you would do for yourself or for fun, or the things that just feel more authentically you. And I think throughout their careers, they are really a model for never losing that, just continuing to make your work, make your zines, make your paintings, continuously reimagine how your work shows up in the world. I look at their careers as a model for not only what you could do with illustration, but how you can follow your art wherever it leads you. They not only have their own online store where they sell their zines and prints and paintings, but they also have a store in Joshua Tree, California called Hey There Projects, which you should definitely check out if you're ever in the area. It's just amazing to see how zines can create all of these opportunities and connections with other artists for new avenues for how you show up in the art world, and these overlapping illustration, zine, comics, cartooning, teaching worlds, and just make them into your own world. The Mark Todd and Esther Pearl Watson world, or the whoever is watching this video world. So yeah. What You Mean, What's a Zine? What started as a book that I bought for $13 in Florida just led to 20 years of following these two incredible artists and their entire body of work and being a fan. So make your zine, and maybe it'll reach the people that like your work or like what you do or want to hear what you have to say. What you mean? What's a zine? Go make your own. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. All right. Enjoy.